David,
Mark,
that's what you look like.
do you know what? It's been... How long has it been since we've done a podcast together?
Actually in the same space, probably August. And
Wow.
it's now December nearly.
Yeah. And this is a first for us as well.
Yes. I'm actually beautiful enough to be on a screen now.
We've come to the mothership. We did, talking of ships and video, we did record 2 videos for the podcast on, what was the name of the ship?
Star of the Seas from Royal Caribbean.
Okay, that was fun, where we interviewed 2 people from the entertainment team. One of them was running the comedy club.
And the other was...
General entertainment. That was really cool. So go back and have a look at that. But yeah, we're doing video and audio. So welcome and enjoy the podcast or enjoy the video, whichever way you deal with it. What are we going to be doing in this one?
We are going to focus on Israeli tourism. This is the first podcast we've done since the ceasefire. So we're going to look at Israel and how tourists are going to come back to Israel over the next 12 months.
It's been very difficult for us as a podcast to deal with this issue over the last 2 years. We started podcasting during COVID. Then we had a little bit of a break, and then we had the 7th of October. And it's been very difficult to deal with tourism in general, but particularly to talk about Israeli tourism over the last 2 years.
2 years ago, we produced 2 podcasts about would Israel ever return a sort of tourism market, a normal tourism market after the events that happened. And last year we did a look back after 12 months to see if there was any optimism. And things were moving slowly. But then over the last 12 months, we've had events with Lebanon and Iran. Too many starts and stops. But there is a ceasefire now as we speak. So hopefully we're in a better position.
Lord willing, inshallah, it should stay that way. Now, you can only at the moment, as far as I understand, see Mark and my good self. But
Sorry.
Sitting in between us, we have a guest who is far more expert on Israeli tourism and marketing than we are. He is the International Marketing Director of Israel's Ministry of Tourism. Hassan Madah, welcome.
Welcome, thank you.
Tell us, before we get on to the details, a little bit about yourself, who you are, what you do.
Okay, so I head the international marketing in the tourism ministry. I've been with the ministry for the last 18 years, actually almost 20. Now did several roles in the ministry, one of them opening the office in India and also in the Philippines, heading the American desk also, and some other positions in the ministry. I'm originally from the Druze village called Kiin, if you are familiar with. And
okay, let me interrupt for a sec. You've used the word Druze.
yes,
People hear the word Druze, but maybe don't know. Who are Druze people?
okay, okay. It's a long. If you have time, we need
We've
a lot
got-
of time. Yeah, we need plenty of time to explain exactly what are the Druze. But in a nutshell, the Druze are small group. Around 1,000 years ago, ran away from Egypt, like the Jews, maybe similar. There are some similarities in that, and they settled in the mountains. So if you look where are the Jews living nowadays, you will see it's called Jabal al-Druze, which is the mountain. Jabal in Arabic, it means mountain. So in Syria, in Lebanon, and in Jordan, in Israel, what you call it the Levant. So it's that part of the region here where you will find the Jews, mainly on the mountains, because they were like running away from others that they were like chasing them because of the difference in the belief and all of that. And obviously, as a minority, you always you want to protect yourself at that time. So they were like living under the empires and all the the other regimes that they were there. So they lived there as a community, small community. Now in the world you will have less than 1 million all over the world. You have small communities also outside the Middle East, in Brazil, Venezuela, in Australia, in some other, in Europe you will find some, but their origin all from here, so from the Middle East. So less than 1 million all over the world, small community. there is no like head of community, like in the Catholic in the Catholic community there is the Pope or something. In the Jews, no, we don't have. But they believe in reincarnation. It's a very strong belief. Now you can see also there is a TV show about reincarnation and all of that. I don't know if you have seen in Channel 12, I think 12, 13, I think, Notok. If you have seen that one, it's coming in Hebrew. It's running now actually, and explaining a lot about this phenomena and the belief in that. They adopted a lot from the Greek philosophy, from Judaism, Hinduism, Buddhism, from many other religions and thoughts and other school of thoughts, and they combine them to one, belief, and they called for people to follow that religion. And so they called for a couple of years in that region, and after that they closed it. So they didn't call for people to join that religion anymore, and they said it will open up one day, but as of now it's still closed. It's been 1,000 years, and that's in brief what all the Jews.
Mark, do you remember our trip into, I can't even remember the name of which Jews village it was. We went with Paul,
Yeah,
Australian Paul.
About 4 years ago, we went on a culinary tour, and we did a Druze village, a Muslim village, and a Christian village in the north.
And we went into somebody's home, and so we met the family. And
She had an Israeli, like a Hebrew name, didn't she?
yeah, the food she prepared for was unbelievable and so kind. If you head to Israel, if you're visiting here, take some time away from Haifa and Tel Aviv and Jerusalem and head out into some of the Druze neighborhoods. These are very, very welcoming people. There are lots of great eateries. There are lots of great tour guides in that part of the world. It gives you a very, very different impression of Israel. Let's get on to why we've actually invited you. Okay, so let's talk stats. A lot of our conversation is going to focus on pre and post October the 7th of 2023.
Okay.
How were the numbers looking just before then, and how are they looking now?
See, you need also to put, you need to relate to COVID also. See, what happened in the last 5 years, in 2020, COVID hit. So the numbers in 2019 were amazing, 4.5 million from tourists from all over the world, almost 1 million Americans in Israel, which is, I think it's a milestone. First time we had 1 million tourists almost from the US. 20, 21, 22, on, off, all of that. And 23, we were like coming out of, and we were supposed to hit a new record, but then October 7th hit, and the numbers, usually also we have good numbers in October, November, December. They're like strong numbers in when it comes to tourism to Israel. The weather is good. People come after the holiday, especially pilgrimage also. It's cold in Europe, so the Europeans come here. And the numbers gone down. So we reached almost 3.5 million. And now this year, 2025, we reached 1 million and a bit, and that's it. I think because of the ceasefire, the months of October, November, and December will be good, and we will see the numbers, and we will reach, I think, between around 1,200,000, maybe 300,000. We will see. If you look at it, we came down 2019 from 4.5 million to 1 million and a bit, and that's it. It's 25%. So you can imagine how this affect the business, how affect the hotels, the airlines, the other businesses that enjoy from tourism. So it's a big hit.
You mentioned airlines. Anybody who's flown in and out of Israel recently will notice that planes are very full, and predominantly the passengers in there are Israelis going on holiday and coming back. How do we get an increase of capacity in flights to bring in these tourists from America and the rest of the world?
We say always that when it comes to Israel, the airlines they have an interest to come. First, because of the Israelis. If we put the tourists aside, the Israelis they fly a lot. You know, you can't travel to most of the countries around us by car and then go to Europe. So people use airlines to fly, and the airlines are here because of the Israelis. They fly a lot, and we can use that to bring the tourists because the airlines are there and they're flying. Now we have the marketing agreements with some of the airlines. We push for packages to Israel. In the past, we used to give them also. We used to sign huge agreements, huge when we had bigger budget. Now our budget is limited, and this is also a problem. But we used to have bigger budget, and we used to sign marketing agreements with the airlines, and especially if they start from mainly if they start from a certain city where no one is flying from, in order to have more tourism from that side. Um, Now what's happening is that other airlines are coming. Turkish is out. We see Wizz Air is in, Etihad is in, Fly Dubai, some other airlines. So there is a shift, if you noticed, in the airline industry, and who is flying from where. That's also affecting the source markets of tourism, uh, and the prices, obviously. And the prices will affect the tourism, and the tourists coming from a certain point. It's to do with connectivity. For example, Etihad is flying more to the east, taking people to Abu Dhabi and Fly Dubai to Dubai, and from there to the east. So we will see the shift with more capacity going east, and not when Turkish was here, taking people also to the east, but to Europe, to North America, South America. So this whole shift is influencing the traffic. Yeah. Now, how we help, as I said, we do marketing agreements. We try and to push the authorities to lower the fees that they pay at the airport. This is to do with the transportation ministry and airport authority. Obviously, they have the mandate for that, not us as a tourism ministry. And we do lots of other activities, which is marketing activities in specific countries, um, lots of them.
The last 2 years, despite the war, the Israeli airlines have probably had record years. Particularly El Al has had two very, very strong years. And with that, the prices have gone up. How do we bring the prices back down?
When it comes to prices, it's competition. It's all about supply and demand, and it's basic. The government, we don't have an airline. The government doesn't own any airline, so we can't compete with the airlines. So it's about supply and demand. And once we have more airlines, and I think enough that you have a ceasefire, that will encourage other airlines. We have seen, for example, which is amazing in my view, SAS back. This airline is back after 10 years.
That's the Scandinavian.
The Scandinavian,
airline.
airline. So they're back after 10 years. So imagine once you have the ceasefire, automatically the airlines are back. If you look at Etihad, they increased the capacity. If you look at other airlines, they all, American airlines, other airlines, they all announcing that they will fly here and they will increase capacity, and it will happen in 2026. I think slowly we will see more airlines are coming back. I can tell you that I have heard from our offices that Philippine Airlines is interested in flying here. Korean Air, which stopped flying, also interested. Some other airlines are also interested in flying here. I think it's a good market. All of them benefit either from tourists coming here or from the Israelis. They all will make money. They see El Al, they see how much money they're making, and they want a piece of that. And I think they will have a piece of that. They will have the ability to succeed in this market, especially if we have quiet times. I think this is the thing that will make them all benefit from the tourism.
Is the arrival of Wizz and setting up a base in Israel going to change things?
I think it will change. Obviously, it will change a lot. I think they will be able to compete. One of the main problems when you market tourism to Israel are the prices, not only of the airline price. Uh, uh, it's the hotels in Israel. Other, even for Israelis, some of the Israelis feel that Israel is expensive for them. I'm sure. I know you also guys.
We may well ask you about that later.
Yeah, you will feel it. So once you have competition, the price will go down. This is the basic economic stuff. So I think if they will have the base, they will fly more, they will compete with other airlines, they will bring prices down, and then we will see the effect on the prices of El Al and other airlines.
You're watching or listening to the Jerusalem Post podcast travel edition with myself, David Harris, and my very good friend, Mark Gordon. And we're in conversation with our very special guest, Hassan Madah, who is the International Marketing Director in the Tourism Ministry of the Government of Israel. During the last couple of years, one of the phenomena that we saw was the initiative to allow those who'd been made homeless because of the fighting both in the south and in the north to stay in hotels. And that also not only gave them protection and a safe place, it also gave some financial security to the hotel industry. That, thankfully, is now over. How do we help the hotels to stay afloat?
Yeah, so first of all, we do the marketing, and we're using all our tools to market Israel, to bring the tourists back so they can fill the hotels. This is first step. The second step that we are doing is we're having campaigns for local tourism. So we're doing campaigns in order to encourage the Israelis themselves to go and stay in hotels either in the south, in the north, Jerusalem, in Tel Aviv. So you have this domestic tourism which is happening that will help the hotels also fill the rooms. And all the hotels that received people from the north or the south during the war, they're getting, there's a fund that give them money to renovate the hotels. And now they're renovating and they're upgrading the rooms and the hotel, the facilities and everything, and that will help them also to attract people to stay in their hotels. So we're doing few things that we can help the hotels, and I hope 2026 will be a very different year from 2025 and 2024.
There was another area of the tourism industry that really suffered in this period. We're talking tour operators, tour guides, the small businesses that make their living out of tourists. What was given in their direction in this year, and what is going to happen for them in the coming year?
So the tour operators, our minister worked very hard with the finance ministry to give them and allocate about 70 million shekel to help the tour operators to keep their staff, because they are professionals that we need to keep in the industry for the day after. So this is what we did, and on that part, that was there. Obviously, some of them hire tour guides and some other people that benefited from that. When it comes to the tour guide themselves, unfortunately, we didn't have a similar plan, but we know that some of them worked for, as I said, domestic tourism and some other stuff that they were doing. And the majority of tour guides in general, I can say that many, in the official documents, you will see a lot of tour guides, but usually some of them are not working as a tour guides. there's a specific percentage of tour guides that are working as tour guides. Not all of them working as tour guides. So some of them have different jobs also, and I hope that some of them will come back once the tourism is back. Um, yeah, but we help with 70 million shekel, as I said, the tour operators, and we want to help more, but our budget also as a ministry is limited. We can't do everything. Obviously, there are like the plans of the finance ministry if you got affected from the war, so you can apply and get that help.
Israel competes in a very busy market with, say, Greece and Georgia,
Mm-hmm.
Montenegro, all of which probably are cheaper than Israel.
Mm-hmm.
How do you make Israel stand out as a unique proposition with all this competition?
See, the price will affect the tourism for sure, but as you know, not everybody is buying a certain luxurious brand. When it comes to consumers, you know, if you want to buy a watch, if you want to buy a car, not everybody buys, you know, the same brands or uh, the same thing. So Israel, as of now, maybe it's not for everybody. Not everybody. If you can't afford it now, maybe you can afford it tomorrow. But what we do is we market it to the people that can afford to come. So we're not competing directly with Greece. If the prices of Greece, let's say, there is a certain price to Greece, and Israel is like double that price. So obviously we can't compete with Greece. But what we compete with is uh, what, or let's put it this way, that we market to the people that can afford to come. And there are like plenty of people that can afford to come to Israel. Not all of them can do it maybe now, but once you have the money to come to Israel, uh, then you can do it. And this is what we do. We do the marketing to a specific target audience that can afford to come to Israel, and this is how we plan to continue at least in the next year and after. And I hope that we will be cheaper, so more people can afford it and come here. But as of now, this is the plan, and this is what we do in order to compete. We can't obviously compete with cheaper prices. It's like a Mercedes will not compete maybe with other brand which is lower. So it's the same thing in marketing.
In 2021, there were flights started between Dubai, Abu Dhabi, and Israel as a
Mm-hmm.
sort of a dividend from the Abraham Accords. We would probably expect to see lots of people from Abu Dhabi, Dubai, Bahrain walking
Mm-hmm.
around Israel in their abayas.
Mm-hmm.
It's not something I've seen. Where are the people from the UAE and Bahrain, and how are we marketing our luxury product to them?
Yeah, we would love to see them. This is for sure. Um, and I think in the beginning we have seen some of them here. I think they're reluctant because they don't know that Israel is safe for them. I think this is my after talking to few people when I was there in the ATM Dubai Arabian Travel Mart in Dubai for 2 years, and we have participated in the first one. It was during COVID. It was still COVID time. Um, After talking to few people, this is my understanding that they feel that they will not be safe here in Israel. It takes time sometimes, to break the ice, and I think they will come. They will come in big numbers. First, we need to give them the feeling that they are safe, and they can walk around in their abayas and everything without any worry. And this is the main issue I think we are facing with these countries. And now I think this is also the main thing that we are facing with tourists in general, because they think that they will not feel safe in Israel after the war. This is still people think that they can't come and all of that. Though we had more than 1 million people during 2025, and we had Iran and all of it, and still we had more than 1 million. So we need to give the confidence, and we need to work towards that.
Shifting gears. So we've had 6 really bad years for tourism.
Mhm.
across the world there was COVID, and obviously we've had the war here as well. Is there a way that the ministry or the industry can make those who are in the industry more resilient, stronger, more diversified, so that if, heaven forbid, we have another something on the horizon, they will be stronger in the face of whatever that challenge is?
What do you mean exactly? Who will be safe?
The tourism industry, I'm not talking about tourists. We know that tourists are very safe in Israel. But more the companies, how are they going to survive? How are they going to meet the next challenge? What can they do? What can the government do in order to make sure that we're better prepared?
I think there are a few things that you can do, but the main thing is basically having a fund, emergency fund, let's call it. And once something like COVID hits, or something like the war, or maybe some other crisis will happen, we don't know. Maybe it's something like that, an emergency fund, and keep some money in good days for for, for bad days. So to do something like that, where you keep aside that fund, and once something like that hit, you have enough to sustain and go and pass that crisis. This is the simple thing that you can do and can plan, and it's easy to do.
You need the help of other ministries.
But we need the help of the finance ministry for that. You can maybe tax them differently in good times. I don't know, maybe invest that somehow so you can grow it. I'm sure the finance ministry know how to do all these manipulations in order to have more money in the future once you have bad times. This is the main and the simple thing that you can do. In regular days, I don't know the people if they're aware, but there's a marketing fund where we support tour operators to do marketing abroad. So in any given year, we do have this marketing fund as a Ministry of Tourism, helping the tour operators of Israel, the agencies here, to do their marketing beside the marketing that we are doing as a ministry. So this is also there. It's like the economy ministry helping the export industry to do something similar. So on those lines, yeah.
I remember over the last 4 or 5 years, there's been some relatively iconic campaigns from the Ministry of Tourism. There was a campaign where someone's hand was sort of taken by their partner, and you had all of the sights of Israel in the background as they walked round. I think there was also a campaign that said, two cities, Jerusalem and Tel Aviv, and highlighted
Two cities, one break.
Two cities, one break. The history of Israel and the beautiful beaches. What are you going to do in the next 12 months to highlight Israel to people overseas, to bring them back here, to show that it's safe, to show them that it's still that beautiful, historic country?
So we're working on a campaign, actually. Just nowadays, we're working exactly on a campaign. We still need to complete the whole creative side of it, and it will be released, I hope, in the next month or two. We're doing also other things like content marketing and doing marketing with media houses, and we're investing in order to bring the tourists back. We put lots of things on hold because of the war. So we were like about to launch something, and then the ceasefire was somehow abruptly was over, and then we postpone, and now we reach that point that's it. We feel that now is the time, and we're going for a campaign very soon. So we're doing something, obviously different creative for different times, and you need to be also renew this stuff, because you can't work with the same campaign every year. And yeah, we're doing also other activities beside the campaigns in terms of PR activities. We're working a lot with the industry outside with our offices. We have 17 offices, and we're working with all of them and doing lots of activities like participating in fairs and tourism fairs, obviously, and road shows, and working with the local industry in kind of marketing agreements in order to push more packages to be sold to Israel. So lots of other activities we're doing beside the campaigns, obviously.
We're in conversation with Hassan Madah from the Ministry of Tourism in Jerusalem. Let's go green. The Dead Sea has been in decline for certainly far longer than I've been in Israel, and that's 30 years. And there's always challenges to the gorgeous coral reefs down in Eilat. How does the ministry get involved in preserving these types of places and working towards a greener future?
See, the ministry invested a lot in preserving the Dead Sea and the surrounding. They worked on that plan of rescuing the Dead Sea. And also in Eilat, there are like some initiatives, not only by the tourism ministry, by other ministries to rescue the reef and all of that. So there are like plans being done for all of that. In terms of tourism, as I said, we invest in ecotourism. We also want it's not only a trend in that is there, but it's also something that many believe in, and this whole system of ecotourism and helping the nature and preserving what we have, so the rest of the generation can benefit from that. This is something also in the plans of the ministry.
It's 5 years almost that Mark and I have been presenting this podcast, and our experience has been that tourism related companies in Israel are not good at marketing to a non-Hebrew speaking or an English speaking or a North American market. What can be done to help, to persuade, to educate individual tourism initiatives around the country that there is a whole huge market out there that has the resources to spend, and that they're not reaching out to them? What can be done to try to fix that?
I think what's happening that the companies did the classic marketing, which is do marketing for pilgrimage, and they are not going beyond that. So they will go and talk to the Christians or to the Jewish communities to bring them here and do the classic tours of Jerusalem, the Baptist sites, the Sea of Galilee area, all the churches, Nazareth, the classic tour of the Holy Land, and nothing beyond that. I think nowadays we have more people coming to the industry, more young also generation coming to the industry, and want to take that beyond the pilgrimage image of Israel. From my experience going abroad, everybody was looking at Israel as just a pilgrimage place. It's like the Muslims, they have Mecca, so for them Saudi is Mecca, and now we're seeing that Saudi is opening up beyond Mecca. And Israel, we have been trying to do that in the last decade. We are seeing more initiatives coming, more people doing this abroad, but we don't see enough. I think also the generation, I feel that the tourism industry in Israel, let's call it, I don't want to be, I don't know how it sounds, but it's a bit old. It's a bit old because they do the same, as I said, classic tourism, and not many initiatives we are seeing in the industry going beyond that, doing some niche tourism, not so many doing ecotourism or sports tourism or some other, you name it, wellness tourism. Not enough. There are individual people doing initiatives in Israel, but when it comes to market that, they have the difficulty Obviously, it's to do with budget. To do marketing abroad costs a lot of money, so they have that barrier that is there. And we, as a Ministry of Tourism, we're trying to help with that thing, but uh, we were like going towards that part, but then COVID hit, and then the war, and it was very difficult to come back. So now we need to focus more on the core audiences, which is the pilgrimage that want to come here, and they are not affected so much by that. See, at the end of the day, people want to come to a country where you don't have, uh, they want to feel safe. It's like maybe you will not think about going to Ukraine this year because of the war. It's the same with Israel. People don't think this way, but this is the reality. And you need to find the people with the motivation this year, or they will be less reluctant to come, or they know someone here and he can tell them that this is safe for you. And this is our focus, I think. But we are not neglecting, and we are not leaving the other niches, and we're working towards that. This is what I feel.
A few lighter questions now.
Yes.
If you could change your job and be the international marketing director for a different country's tourism ministry to market another country, which country would you like to market?
You know, it is, it is the first time someone asking me this question, and but I can share with you that I was thinking about it. I was thinking about it in the past, and I was like, do you want to market a country that they don't have any troubles, nothing, or do you want to market a country that with lots of troubles and challenges and you name it? I think to market a country with like no challenges, nothing, it's fun, but it's not exciting, maybe.
That's a very diplomatic answer to the question.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do food. Let's see if you'll give an answer to this one. Israel has phenomenal food scene, and it's thriving, it's growing.
It is.
If you had to recommend one Israeli dish, what would it be? If you had some guests, what would you tell them to go for?
Very tough one, but something in Israel. I think something in Israel that you will not see a lot abroad, if any, which is not a dish, but it's basically aburekas. You will not see on aburekas outside of Israel. It's very difficult. You will see something similar, but as aburekas, like we eat it here, I don't see. I traveled I have traveled in many countries and I have seen, but not something like aburekas. Obviously, you have other things that like a shakshuka and good falafels and hummus you have in Israel, and you have lots of other dishes, you name them, and especially cuisines from of certain communities in the country. But I haven't seen any burekas, to be honest with you.
So those of you who don't know, burekas are kind of, well, they're pastry. Different types of pastry depending on the different type of burekas, but basically they're small, and you can get lots of different fillings. So which filling would you go for?
I like cheese. I like the cheese ones. Yeah.
Salty cheese.
It's like the empanadas, but it's not the same. It's not the same like empanadas. It's something different.
And a fun fact, in Israel, the shapes of burekas are regulated depending on the filling, so that if you pick up a rectangular bureka, it's a potato bureka.
But
Exactly. Triangle is the cheese one.
Yeah.
Apparently, part of the reason for that, and I might be wrong, is to do with kosher laws, so that you know which ones are cheese and which ones are not dairy fillings, to keep them separate.
It's a great country.
It's a very interesting country.
Talking of a great country, your minister, Mr. Katz, gives you the weekend off and says you can go anywhere in Israel. Have a weekend on the ministry. Where would you go?
Oh, I would love to go to so many places, but I like the Dead Sea, the tranquility in the Dead Sea. You know that you don't have to swim in the Dead Sea. It's enough that you breathe the air of the Dead Sea and you will calm your nerves, because you have bromide in the air, and it calms the nerves. So enough that you are like around the Dead Sea, you will sleep better. That's why in our tours, when we host people, I always tell them, guys, don't take them after a tour in the Dead Sea. Don't take them to like the night out or to do something in the night because they will be very sleepy. Their nerves are calm and they will have a deep sleep. So just let them rest.
If our viewers and listeners want to find out more about tourism in Israel, what's the website address?
It's visit.israel, and you are most welcome. And you can Google us, and there are plenty of sites, uh, obviously by even private people, and we're there to help and give you more information about Israel, about the different sites and places, and I welcome everybody.
I don't envy you for the job that you do. I mean, you kind of hinted, like it's a challenge to market Israel.
It is, to market a country that it's gone through a war for 2 years. If it was, I can tell you one thing, it was easier when we had wars or conflicts for a couple of weeks, like the 2006 Lebanon war, or sometimes when we had conflicts with Gaza for a couple of weeks. It was easier because it's there for a couple of weeks, maybe a month, and then it's over. When it's 2 years, it's a lot of time. So that what make it difficult for us.
He is hoping that 2026 and beyond will be the renaissance of Israeli tourism and the growth and the return to it being healthy. Hassan Madah, International Marketing Director for the Ministry of Tourism, thank you for sharing your time with us.
Thank you so much, guys. It was my pleasure.
Really, really incredible conversation. Mark, let's finish for a couple of minutes, you and me. It's a beautiful country.
It is, and it upsets me in a way. When I work in Tel Aviv, I walk around Tel Aviv and I see streets that were full of shops that would be full of tourism, which are still there, some of them, but it's quiet, and I want to see those people back on the street after rush hour. Once I've got into work, then they can come and visit as often as they want, but it's time that people came back to Israel.
If you've got any questions about tourism in Israel and you reach out to the tourism ministry, you can also reach out to us. We always give out our emails, but we're happy to give advice or to put you in touch with the relevant people. And our email is markdavidpod@gmail.com, and we're across social media at markdavidpod.
We also normally do a few thank yous at the end of this pod. I'd like to thank Nufar at the Ministry of Tourism, who helped arrange this, and Chad in America, who also helped me set this up. Thank you.
Yeah, it's great. It's amazing how many different places we have to go to get an interview for someone who's around the corner. Folks, that's the podcast for this time. We hope you've enjoyed it. Let us know if you enjoy the video version of the podcast. And if you do, and if the kind people at the Jerusalem Post will allow, maybe we'll do some more like this. So from us in Jerusalem to you out there, we'll see you in a couple of weeks' time.
Shalom.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.